But when I hear black men and some black women say that money was flowing when President Trump, and I'm thinking to myself, I missed it. I must have been out of the country those 4 years.
Well, your money's been doing very well lately.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
This is what I tell people. And I'm trying to brag or put anybody down. But the Lord has blessed me. I'm in a situation.
Me too.
That it doesn't matter who the president is.
And by the way,
this glass could be the president, and I'm going to be unimpacted by it.
And also, if we were being selfish,
yes,
we'd be just fine with Trump winning because our taxes are going to go down. Yeah. He wants rich people to pay less in taxes.
Yes.
So if I'm being selfish,
yes,
I'm voting for him because
yes.
he's going to lower my taxes. If you're running a big corporation, he's very concerned about making sure you're paying lower taxes.
Right. I run a business.
Exactly. So if it were just up to our own selfish desires,
correct,
we're in a tax bracket where he would benefit us. But I think we're both men of responsibility.
Yeah.
We care about.
He ain't gonna benefit enough of us though.
Exactly.
That's my problem.
And I'm gonna do fine either way. Like
correct.
I'm doing fine under Biden, paying higher taxes than I would under Trump. Either way, I'm doing fine.
Correct.
But I care about my responsibility to my community. And when I see someone with such contempt for my people,
yes.
If I'm a Latino man, I watched that Republican National Convention. Mm-hmm. And they actually went to the printer and made mass deportation now signs. Mass deportation now. Of all the things you could put on a sign, of all the things you could print up, the level of intention that has to go into having the whole arena holding mass deportation now signs, it means they really mean that shit. They mean it to their core. And what mass deportation now means, if you're a citizen now and you're a Latino man or you come from an immigrant family, you may be fine because you were born here. But there's somebody in your family. Most of these families are mixed status families. So some of them were born here and they have citizenship, but their grandmother, their aunt, their uncle, somebody in their family doesn't have status. So he's going to go through each of these communities and extract their family members and mass deport them. He's going to start by having the ICE or the police invade their homes, build a camp, a detention camp, some would say a concentration camp, to detain them and then forcefully send them back home. As a Latino man, I couldn't hear that and be like, oh, this is the guy I want to be in charge. Like, think about your community. Think about your family. As a black man, knowing how much contempt he has for us, how inferior he thinks we are. Every time there's a chance to side with either the police who shot us or us, the victim of it, he sides with the police. Mm-hmm. He said he wants blanket immunity.
Blanket.
For cops.
Police could do no wrong.
They can do no wrong. No accountability. They shoot us up, doesn't matter. No accountability. He wants that. It couldn't be me. Couldn't be me, Bober. And so hopefully people will analyze his record, analyze the difference between the policies that she's offering, which she actually put thought into and care into, addressing our needs, and the fact that he's put no care or thought into it. And you know, I think another thing that he benefits from is the propaganda of him being on The Apprentice. So he was able to market himself as a successful businessman, not noting how many times he went bankrupt. And just be clear, when somebody goes bankrupt, it's not just that their business fails, it means they're not paying everybody they owe money to. That means they're not paying the contractors. So a lot of these folks were everyday contractors. They're not rich. They're people
they went out of business because they didn't get...
They're plumbers that are helping to build his hotel. They're contractors that are doing all sorts of things. He just stiffed them. And he knew that if they tried to sue him, they'd lose more money paying for lawyers and doing all that stuff than they would actually get their money back. So he basically waited them out. And so he just went through life conning people, defrauding people, stiffing people that he owed money to. And his only reason he got into business at all was he got $400 million from his dad. That's not a great businessman to me.
Right.
That's not a businessman that you talk to any CEO or any person that's actually succeeded in business the right way, they don't look up to that man. He's a con artist. Couldn't be me, man. I'm not voting for him, and it's clear, like to me, it's clear why nobody should.
When you hear, and a lot of concerns, some of the concerns, not all, but some of the concerns is that now, Madam VP, she isn't black enough.
She's mixed. Her daddy's black, her mom's Indian.
Right.
There's a lot of mixed folks in America. You know.
The police pull her over. She gets pulled over. They ain't say, I think she Indian. She black.
She's black.
She walk into a store. She black.
And by the way, she's about to be, if she wins, the first president from HBCU.
Yeah, I
like from Howard University.
Yes.
From Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Like, are we kidding? Like, those are choices she made.
Right.
Like, she could have gone a different way. Like, I went to a primarily white institution. She could have gone anywhere she wanted.
Right.
She went to Howard. She pledged AKA.
Right.
Like, she black, y'all.
Right.
That's not even a question.
But John, a lot of people have her policies when she was, I guess, the DA, I think, in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Some of her policies where she locked up black men.
Well, I think a lot of people have re-looked at that because that was misinformation that was being spread about her. So there was some report that she was locking up thousands of black men on marijuana charges. She locked up very few on marijuana charges at all as a district attorney.
Right.
And a percentage of them were black men, but even in general, the whole list was not a long list at all. That was just completely incorrect. And then they started to blame her as Attorney General for all of the people who were locked up in the state of California, when the Attorney General in the state doesn't even deal with marijuana cases. So they were blaming her for stuff that local DAs were charging all throughout California. That's not her job. Right. Attorney Generals of a state don't deal with marijuana crimes locally. And so she was being blamed for that when it wasn't even her. So this was like, you saw DL, he came out and was like, I was wrong about that.
Right.
I was spreading that and it just wasn't true. And I respect DL for coming out and saying, you know, I spread this and I was incorrect and I learned the truth and I came back and told folks it wasn't true. Right. And so hopefully people are dispelled of those lies. But it's hard though. There's so much media out there and people get their media from everywhere. And so you could be misinformed about things and just not know. And, you know, that's why I think it's smart that she's going on different types of media now, talking to Charlemagne, talking to, you know, different outlets so that she reaches people where they are and where they listen.
And when you look at the problem, a lot of problems that I have is that all of a sudden the VP has so much power now. Well, what about your policies? When actually, unless the president is incapacitated, she doesn't have any power.
Right. You know, well, whenever something goes wrong, they want to.
It's her fault.
You know that I notice it with J.D. Vance all the time. He's like, under the Kamala Harris administration. I'm like,
I thought it was the Biden administration. I thought she was the vice president. Yeah. Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because you know we like to do something before two something.